It's 10 o'clock. Welcome to Lincoln Ware Live. We're here every Sunday morning from 10 until 11. And I want to thank Lisa K. Crawford for filling in for me last week. She did a fantastic job, and I always appreciate Lisa K. Crawford. On the show this morning, we're going to talk about the Young Women's Enrichment Project. We've got Willie Rose Haywood-Alexander. We got Mike Korn. We're also going to talk about the March of Dimes Ride for Babies. Plus, we're going to have open lines today. Talk about some of the events of the past week. Talk about women locking their babies in hot cars and leaving them there for 8 hours. Want to get your take on that. And a few other things going on in the community. A lady was locked up because they found a dead pit bull in her backyard who had strangled himself to death. They locked her up and won't even give her bond. It's unbelievable what's going on in this city. We'll talk about that and more things coming up this hour. But first, let's talk about the Young Women's Enrichment Project with Willie Rose Haywood-Alexander and Mike Korn. This is something that's sorely needed in this area.
Yes, very much so. Good morning.
Good morning. Now tell us a little bit about the Young Women's Enrichment Project.
It's an organization that was developed in 2006. For the past few years, I've assisted the Cincinnati Health Department in working with adolescent girls. And one of the health department retirees, Ms. Mary Hardy, and myself collaborated to develop the organization so that we could continue to work with girls that are in the community and in several of the schools here in Cincinnati to do some empowerment and helping them to become successful, as well as academically, socially, just a well-rounded improvement, and to assist them as much as we possibly can.
And that's sorely needed. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back and find out how Mike is involved in all this. And that and more when we take a break. We'll take a break and come right back and hear more of the Women's Enrichment Project, the Young Women's Enrichment Project, which is sorely needed in this area. We'll take a quick break and we'll come back. Lincoln Ware Live right here on Hits 38. Back in a moment. We're back live. Lincoln Ware Live is the program. As we said earlier, the Young Women's Enrichment Project Incorporated, and we're talking to Willie Haywood-Alexander. And before the break, I want to ask you, when we say young women, what ages are we talking about?
Beginning at age 12.
Age 12.
Yes, and we have two components in the Young Women's, and basically two parts of our mission, to work with the girls 12 to 15 in middle school to help them with their academics and actually to help develop some economic empowerment for them. The other spectrum is building blocks for successful parenting, because as you see,
a lot of them are falling by the wayside. They're having kids at a young age, and they just, like the one pregnant lady, her boyfriend beat her and stomped her, killed the fetus, and situations like that. If she had known a few other things, maybe she could have worked herself out of that, without that situation arising. Now, Mike, how's Mike involved?
We actually, go ahead.
Mike.
Well, I want to thank Ms. Alexander for giving us the opportunity to participate. We're going to go out and talk to the girls about exercise and things that they can do, to help them with eating right and things they can implement on their own.
That's something that's sorely needed. There's a lot of young, overweight young girls in this town, I'm telling you. So you talk to them?
Right. We're going to help give them some tools, talk to them about things they could do at home. We were going to do some BMI testing for them, but mainly teach them about Target Training Zone and give them an opportunity to introduce them to our PST program, which stands for Positive Self-Talk, which helps them with believing that they can accomplish it, visualizing, seeing themselves actually enjoying the benefits of already being that way.
And that's a lot of low self-esteem among the young women.
And that's our target. The state of Ohio funded this program. It's 5 workshops through the month of September. September is Women's Health Month. It's celebrated every year in the state of Ohio. And Ohio Department of Health, Health UC, and several other departments within the state are helping to fund other programs like this. And so our mission is to help with the overall health and wellness, and that the fitness, exercise is part of that. And Mr. Korn is actually going to help the girls develop a plan for themselves, an individualized plan that they can use in terms of exercises that they can do on a regular basis and follow through.
Okay, okay. And that's so important.
Yes.
If you get them in a routine, it comes easy, but getting them started in that routine is the tough part.
Right.
And so FitWorks, he's the owner operator of FitWorks in Forest Park.
Okay.
And he is doing this in kind for us, and it's really very generous on his part to assist us, and he did not say no, and I just love him for that.
Yeah,
Because
if more businesses would
Yes.
give back, I mean, it will be a
Absolutely.
better community.
Absolutely.
So you're to be commended, Mike, for what you're doing,
Thank
and
you.
I appreciate that because these young ladies definitely
Yes.
need it out there.
Yes.
All right, we'll take another quick break, and then we'll come right back, and we'll hear more about the Young Women's Enrichment Project right here on Lincoln Ware Live. We'll take a quick break and come right back. We'll be back in a moment. And we're back live, Lincoln Ware Live, the program. We're talking about the Young Women's Enrichment Project. And as Mike was talking about earlier with FitWorks, and he's got the bands and what? Tell us a little bit about that.
It's kind of a motivational, self-motivation. As he says, you can have exercise equipment in the home, but if you don't use it, if you're not motivated to use it, there's not going to be any difference, or you're not going to reach your goals. So basically, he set up a program for the girls to help them meet their goals so that they can believe in themselves, that they can do it, they can visualize what it is they're going to do, and then they will be able to snap into it to take action.
All right.
So there's a plan.
Once again, Mike Korn from FitWorks in Forest Park. Stop in there and just say thanks to Mike for all the help he's given. Mary Dunlap is with us now. Mary, what is your involvement with the Young Women's Enrichment Project?
Well, my involvement is to teach them how to eat healthier.
Okay.
I work for Ohio State University Extension, and I'm a nutrition educator, and we provide a series of lessons to individuals to teach them to eat healthier as far as eating the less foods that are more nutrient dense rather
Cut out
than
the McDonald's and the Burger
yes,
King and all that stuff.
and the
Yeah.
soft drinks,
Yes,
and
yes.
drink more milk, because we're finding that especially teenage girls are not drinking enough, getting enough calcium. Also, to help prevent certain diseases like heart disease, stroke, diabetes, and that's a big one for teenagers, especially type 2 diabetes.
So, yeah, if they eat right and then go to Mike at FitWorks for the exercise, they're halfway there. The only other component is the education part.
Yes.
Now, tell us about that.
Okay. We consider all of this as part of the education, the nutrition education, the fitness education. But then, Lincoln, I've learned from young girls themselves that if you include them within, it's interactive. We're just not up there telling them what to do. Girls can give you information about themselves. They can also work out solutions. And so part of that self-esteem building and that success orientation, they have it within themselves. It's just getting it out and creating an environment for them to be able to work with you, alongside of you, and not feel it's something you're throwing down their throat. So it's interactive, and they actually will be developing their own solutions. And we're going to do this through role playing. We're also going to have them identify role models that they feel that are close to home, not role models that are on television or people, even though you're a good role model, but role models that are close to them.
Yeah, yeah.
It could be an aunt, it could be a cousin, someone. So we want them to identify that role
Yeah.
model, and then we're going to discuss it. And in the role playing, we're going to look at, have some scripts where they will actually go through the motions of what it is to have low self-esteem and identify some of those factors that cause it, and also a high self-esteem person.
Now, how do you go out and find the young women? How can they find you?
Well, actually, I was taught to be outreach. And so we've got several schools that are involved: Harmony Community School,
Okay.
they're 7th and 8th grade girls, and the Phoenix Learning Center. 7th and 8th grade girls. These are charter schools, community schools. And so instead of going to CPS, Cincinnati Public Schools, I felt that these schools needed to have that outreach. We also have a special group we're developing, and that's our community group. These girls will live within the Evanston and Walnut Hills area, 7th grades only. We want to take the 7th graders and follow them through 12th grade, just to see, be there as an advocate, do some intervention, have the parents involved. We want to become part of their lives. Because when, it says it takes a village to raise a child, it really, really does.
Now, with a program like this, you got to have help, you've got to have
Yes.
sponsors.
Absolutely.
Who helps you out with this?
The Ohio Department of Health, Health UC, each year they give out Women's Health Month grants. Now, it's small, so you've got to have some resourcefulness in order to be able to put on a good program with the dollars that they're able to give you. And each year, this is my 4th year, I believe, doing this, and I've been able to reach out, get donations. Now, other support has come from Avon's. We're going to give the girls a gift basket, and they're supplying the products for that. Kroger has given us a gift card to help with some of the snacks and things like that. So, and we're still out there. And the Ohio Extension Center, it was like FitWorks. A call was made, and they jumped right on it.
All right. Well, it sounds like a great program, and hopefully it can expand to include more and more young women,
We're
because
trying to do it
Lord
ongoing.
knows that they need it in this community.
Now, we want you to visit outlookonhealth.com. We'll have more information about the girls program. It has a telephone number where you can reach us, 559-9500. If you have any interest about the program, just call us and we can give you further data.
All right, Willie Haywood, it's always good to see you. Oh, wait, before we go, let's take one call before we go. McPherson, how you doing?
Yes, hi. I have a comment on the program for young girls.
Yes.
I have 2 granddaughters, and they're 12 years old. They live in the downtown area, and I think it should be a program for them, too. They need it, too.
Okay, they're in the downtown area, and they go to a public school, Cincinnati Public?
Mm-hmm.
She can, if she wants to call the office, we can arrange for them to be a part of our community group.
Okay.
Remember, that's a special group. So we are trying to get additional funding. We've got some special things that we're going to be doing with that community group. Call us at 559-9500.
Thank you.
You got that number, 559-9500?
Yes.
All right, thanks for your call. All right, Willie, great seeing. Oh, still got calls coming in. They won't let you go. Kanisha, how you doing? Kanisha. Hey, Kanisha. Kanisha must be watching her TV with the sound down on her phone, and we're just going to have to slide on past Kanisha. She's gone. But it sounds like a great program, and hopefully, like you said, you can reach young women throughout the area.
Yes.
And just like the young ladies had a kid in over the Rhine area,
Yes.
and you will be able to help them. But it's a great program. Keep it up, Willie Haywood. And Willie Haywood-Alexander.
Alexander,
Yeah, I forgot. I got to add that.
He's watching.
Yes, yes. And Mary Dunlap, thank you. Mike Korn from FitWorks. I want to thank Mike. And thank you. And it's a great program, and I'm glad to have you in
Thanks
here.
for us
Hopefully, we
being
can
here.
get you back
We really
again.
appreciate it.
All right. Let's take a quick break, and we'll come right back with more. Plus, don't forget, later on in the show, open lines. We'll open it up for you to talk about whatever's on your mind, some of the news of the past week. But first, we're going to talk about the ride for babies with the March of Dimes. When we come back right here on Lincoln Ware Live, we'll be back in a moment. All right. And we're back live. Lincoln Ware Live is the program. Kasee and Sara Shreckenhofer, yes, Shreckenhofer, and little Allie here. And I'll tell you, the 2007 Ride for Babies Cincinnati is coming up. Tell us a little bit about that, Kara.
Well, the March of Dimes was established in 1938 by Franklin D. Roosevelt to fight polio in children. So I'll just tell you a little bit about March of Dimes first, and then we'll get into the ride. The mission now is to improve the health of babies by preventing birth defects, premature birth, and infant mortality. And our mission is carried out through research, community service, and education advocacy. So the ride we do every year. It's our 4th year, and starts out, it's September 15th, Saturday, with a rain date of September 22nd. It's a 40-mile route. it starts at Ware in Florence, and it ends with 3 laps around the Kentucky Speedway. So it's pretty special. That's our selling point, which is with the Speedway, 3 laps around.
Okay.
Starts at 10:30 with registration at 10:30, and the ride begins at 11:30.
Okay, and then it ends at the Kentucky Speedway, and then you'll be able to go around.
3 laps around the Kentucky Speedway.
Okay.
Yep.
And we got a movie star here, Miss Allie. Now, how can organizations get involved in this? What do they need to do if they want to ride?
Well, if a rider wants to register, they can go on www.rideforbabies.com, and you can register as a rider. It's $30. A passenger is $15, and a rider will get a rider T-shirt and a commemorative pen, and a passenger will get just a pen.
Okay.
And you can go online, or you can call the office at 769-3588.
Now, have you reached out to a lot of these clubs?
Yes,
motorcycle
we've
clubs?
tried. We got online and emailed and called a lot of the clubs. We have a lot of sponsors that get, like CBS Personnel is our #1 sponsor, so they go to a lot of their branches and do a lot of reaching out to their customers and stuff like that. So.
Now, Sarah, how has the March of Dimes helped Allie? Tell us, what type of close-knit help that they've given her.
Allie Grace was born at 24 weeks, which she was 16 weeks early. She weighed 1 pound, 10 ounces. She received surfactant, which is a drug, with all the money raised from the March of Dimes, with funding with that and for the doctors and research. So with giving the drug surfactant, it helped with her lungs. Her lungs were like a sponge, full of water, and that helped her breathe. She spent 116 days in the NICU, the neonatal intensive care. We're very fortunate. She has no major serious health defects right now. We had to have a lot of surgery on her eyes. She developed ROP, which is caused from being on the ventilator and being up and down on the ventilator, and her retina began to pull and tear. She sees perfectly out of one eye. Her other eye she doesn't see out of, but she's a healthy 4-year-old right now, and you would never know if I didn't tell you today that she couldn't see out of one eye. But, we received, when we were in the NICU, at that time we lived in Alabama. She was born in Birmingham. And we received a lot of literature, information. We had support groups. Today I'm very active and help with the March of Dimes. We participate in Walk America every year and raise money in honor of Allie Grace. I go to University Hospital and I speak with the parents there in the NICU that have children like Allie Grace was, because when I was there, not at University Hospital but down in Alabama, I'd never gone through this. I have 3 other children. My first 2 boys were born healthy, full-term babies. Never did anything wrong, went to all my doctor's appointments and ended up developing an infection that caused me to go into labor early, and they couldn't stop it. But being able to go there and speak to those parents, they're so scared and terrified and they don't know what to expect, and never know what to expect once your baby comes home. And we didn't know that outcome either. She got to come home on Father's Day that year, which was a wonderful gift. But you just, every day's you go in and you don't know if you're going to have a good day, a bad day. We're gaining weight, we're losing weight, we're back on the ventilator, we're off the ventilator. Things, you just don't know what to expect.
Well, we can tell those eyes are working okay because she's looking at herself on TV. She's a TV star. All right, let's go to the phones. Who do we have on here? Sydney. Hey, Sydney, how you doing?
Fine, how are you?
Pretty good.
I'm calling about the lady who left the 2-year-old in the car.
Oh, okay. That's you need to hold on, and we'll talk about that. Call me back in about 5 minutes, okay?
Okay.
Okay, thanks for your call. Who's screening these calls over there? It happens every show. But the March of Dimes is so great what they're doing. And how many riders are you expecting?
Well, we're hoping the Dayton division, they also come down and meet us at Ware. So they'll hopefully bring about 300 riders as well. And we also have road captains for safety and police escorts as well. So hoping, our big hope would be 1,000 riders, probably 700 to 1,000.
Oh,
So,
wow. That's going to
yes.
be one heck of a ride.
Right.
And for clubs and organizations that want to get involved, is there a number they can call?
513-769-3588.
It's all for the March of Dimes, and then,
Right.
boy, that 3 victory laps around the
Right.
Kentucky Speedway would be worth it.
Yep.
Now, can they open it up and go as fast as they want, or will it be a
60
speed limit?
miles
60
per hour,
miles?
yeah.
Okay, all right.
That's a good question. They all ask that.
I know. That would be the first
Right.
question I would ask. Can I
Right.
open it up and
Yes.
see what this baby will do on the Kentucky Speedway?
That's true. That's true.
But once again, it's all for the Ride for Babies, 2007 Ride for Babies Cincinnati, the
Right.
March of Dimes. You need to get involved. And once again, give that phone number again.
513-769-3588 and rideforbabies.com.
All right, we really appreciate you coming
Thank
out
you.
this Sunday morning. And Allie Grace, you take care of yourself here.
Say, okay.
Okay.
All right, we'll take a quick break and we'll come back and we'll have open lines, and then that young lady can call and talk about whatever she wants to talk about. And you can also by calling me at 513-381-3838. We'll take a break and we'll come back and open up the lines and let you talk about whatever's on your mind right here on Lincoln Ware Live. All right,
Thank
great,
you so
great.
much. It's nice to meet you.
And we're back live. Which camera am I? Okay, right there. You guys get me every time. We're back live. Lincoln Ware Live is the program. And we decided this morning, a holiday weekend, and we'll just open up the lines for you. We don't do it very often, but we'll let you get it off your chest, talk about whatever's on your mind. 513-381-3838. That's the number if you want to jump on board. A couple of things that just caught my eye and ear this week that really ticked me off. There's a lady in Lincoln Heights. I think it was either her nephew or her son, found a pit bull, brought the pit bull home, chained the dog up in the backyard. He chained the dog up a little tight. The dog hung himself, and somebody called the SPCA, Animal Cruelty, and they arrested the homeowner. Judge Heather Russell locked this woman up and didn't even set bail for her. So she's in jail without bail because of the death of a pit bull. You got Brenda Slabby, who left her baby in a hot car for 8 hours, and the prosecutor says, oh, it was an accident. So go figure, whose life is more valuable, the life of a pit bull or the life of a 2-year-old? That really got next to me this week. Let's hear what you have to say. Let's go to Melody on line 2. Melody, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm a little hoarse, but I'm making it through. I need to give my voice a rest. I've been yapping since Friday.
Since Friday, but hey, you give us a lot to think about.
Well, I try to.
Why, thank you. Two things. The
Yes.
first one, I have to address something that Mary said, I believe it was Friday, where she insinuated that, I guess because you're men, you guys can't feel the pain of losing a child, or that you guys don't love your children as much as women. And I mean, I was so ticked off. I mean, I'm like, oh
Well,
my God, Ray, call in there and let that woman.
Well, you know, now I'm my youngest child is 17 years old.
Okay.
And throughout the day, I often think about, what is she at lunch now? Is she in a, what is she doing now? Is she at cheerleading practice? I think about her throughout the day. Now, you're going to tell me not once did she think about her 2-year-old in 8 hours. Give me a break. And men can, I think any man would have thought about that. So I remember the caller, you're talking about Mary that called my show on Friday that said that. Yeah, totally insane.
That was beyond insensitive, and I know right now their dad would never leave them in a car. He cares as much.
Yeah.
I mean, heck, I'd probably even bargain more.
Yeah, sometimes men are more mother hens than women.
Exactly. And sometimes he's a little better at it than I am, but, I'll leave that one alone.
All right.
But, it's like I said, the prosecutor, he's not going to prosecute her. Like, I would love to know their family connections and things of that nature, because that's absolutely ridiculous.
But, and then they have her on videotape going back to the car at least once after she got to school.
And she knew that child was in there.
So, I'm just having a hard time figuring this one out.
You know what? It's money talks.
I hear you. Thanks for your call. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, let's go to Sydney. Sydney, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing fine. How are you?
Pretty good.
I'm 13 years old, and my mother thinks about me all day, and I just can't believe how this lady couldn't think about her daughter in the car for 8 hours.
Yeah, it's a little hard to believe. I don't know how you can be so tied up into what you're doing that you wouldn't think about your daughter in the car at least once.
I know, it's
I just
crazy.
can't comprehend that. I can't comprehend it.
And I don't understand why she is in jail and the lady who the dog died isn't in jail.
Go figure.
She's in jail,
Go
and they won't
figure.
give her a bond.
Go figure. Hey, thanks for your call.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Let's go to Quarry. I believe that's, how do you pronounce your name?
Hello?
Yeah, Kira. Kira, how you doing, Kira?
I'm okay.
What's on your mind?
Well, the lady that left the little girl in the car, for them not to be charging her, that's cruel. When
Well, you know, it still may happen. The grand jury goes back in session on Wednesday, and I'm sure this case will come before the grand jury Wednesday, so we'll have to wait and see what happens.
but other people get charged like right away.
Well, you make a good point there. You make a good point. I don't know whether this prosecutor, Don White, I don't know whether he knows more than he's letting out now. They're going to wait for the grand jury, but it sounds like she's going to get a free pass. You know, they're going to say, oh, she's going to suffer enough now. She's going to suffer for the rest of her life.
But they shouldn't give her a free pass because, like, other people sit up and for example, I have 2 kids. I have a disability, and I sit up every day wondering, okay, you got to do this, you got to do that. And something about she wasn't used to taking a girl to daycare.
Yeah.
You still are a mother. You still got that instinct of,
Right.
it's my daughter, if you have that motherly
It's
love.
something going on there that we don't know about, we may never know about, but there's something else going on with this case, and I just can't put my finger on it. Thanks for your call. Appreciate it.
Okay.
All right, let's go to LaShonda. LaShonda, how are you?
Hi, I'm fine.
What's on your mind?
I think it's something else to that story because they said that she went to Buskin Bakery and bought donuts for the kids.
Well, she bought donuts for a presentation she was doing. It was something like, I don't know how many dozen, but it was a few dozen donuts, and she had to make 2 trips to the car to bring them all in. So she brought some in when she got to school, and then she took those in. Then a few minutes later, she came back out to the car to get the rest of them.
Right, and then they said the associate helped her out from Buskin Bakery into the car, so they had to see the child out as well.
Well, they say they put the donuts in the back. It was a hatchback, and they put the donuts in the back of the vehicle, and of course the kid was in the back seat. So it's possible that all you could have seen was a car seat and not a head.
But even if
possible.
the child was asleep while she was driving, a baby make a sigh or something, and a 2-year-old gonna make some kind of noise. Even
I find it hard to believe that a 2-year-old was asleep that time of morning.
right, even
You
a
know?
breathing noise though, she would have heard that sign or something, like a little snore or something.
All right, thanks for your call.
Thank you.
All right, let's move along. 513-381-3838, and let's go. All right. Okay, no, we just had her. Okay, Brandy, how you doing? Brandy. Hey, Brandy. I guess no Brandy. So who do we have on 4? Oh boy. All right. Okay. How you doing? What's your name? What's your name?
I was Brandy. I was saying I was here. I guess he couldn't hear me.
I was on the wrong line for you.
Oh, okay.
They gave me the wrong line. What's up, Brandy?
But I was calling because it's so funny that the lady who the pit bull died in the backyard, she goes to jail, but the woman who left her baby in the car doesn't.
Right.
But if you notice lately with this animal cruelty, how they came so hard on Michael Vick.
Yeah.
But as much as I hate to admit it, Cincinnati Bengals are running around getting drunk and catching DUIs, and they're not getting charged as hard as they charge Michael Vick.
Well, I mean, it's a little different. You know, you're getting caught for DUI and then operating a pit bull fighting ring and financing it. I think it's a little different there.
That's like Chris Henry. How many times has he been in front of the judge for probation violation?
Well, I mean, he
of a minor.
He did,
it's been a whole
he
lot
did the
of
crime, though. Chris Henry has no one to blame but Chris Henry for his problems. Michael Vick has no one to blame but Michael Vick for his problems.
I mean, I understand that. I'm just saying how, I don't know, an animal seems to be more than somebody's life put online. That's just how it seems lately. They making more big deals about these animals than they are about human
you're
life.
right. You're right.
That's how I see
You're
it.
absolutely right. Thanks for your call. Appreciate it.
All right.
All right, let's go to Dominica. Dominica, how you doing? Dominica. Okay, Dominica's gone. Let's go to Nancy. Nancy, how you doing?
Good, good. I'm calling about the mother that left the child in the car.
Okay, where are you calling from, Nancy?
Western Hills.
Western Hills. Okay, go ahead.
First of all, she went into Buskin Bakeries, and apparently she left the child alone in the car there,
Yes.
which I would think is a bit of abuse, leaving
Yeah.
the child in the car while you go into the store. She knew the baby was in the car when she went into Buskin's. So, that kind of upsets me. I know, we have, my daughter and I went into a restaurant once, and she left her baby in the car. He was sleeping. But it took us about 10 minutes, maybe not even that, to realize, the baby's in the car, and we left.
Wait, hold on, back up. So you went in the restaurant to eat?
We went in to eat. We were in line. The baby was asleep in the back seat. We got out.
And you just left the baby in there. You didn't think about the baby.
But you know what? It took us about 5-10 minutes to realize, oh my gosh. And
Right. But I'm figuring out.
It's just.
I just can't believe, how could you just get out of the car and forget the baby was in there?
Well,
both of you had two people.
Two people, the mother and the grandmother.
Oh, jeez.
So,
I just find that hard to believe.
Well, it happens, but you know what?
Right.
But we remembered so quick.
Yeah. And even when you get out of the car, it's almost, when you get out, you have to turn to the side to close the door, and you're going to look back there and see.
I know, but it is possible. But like I said, most mothers think about it immediately. I mean, we thought of it immediately. She was so embarrassed, we didn't even go back in the restaurant.
Gee, I can imagine.
Came to herself.
Gee, that is embarrassing. You're right. And then you go back to the car. Oh, where did this baby come from?
That's right. That's why we didn't go back.
It is embarrassing. I would be embarrassed to call me to tell me that. You should be embarrassed.
Disguise my voice.
And if I could spank you, I would.
Bye.
All right. Jeez. The mother and the grandmother goes into the restaurant to eat and leaves the baby in the car. Now you've got two mothers there. You got the mother and the grandmother, and they forgot the child. Unbelievable. I guess they were awfully hungry to forget the child and leave the child in the car. I think Lorraine, is this Lorraine? How you doing? What was the name again? Elaine. Elaine, how you doing?
Yes, good morning, Lincoln.
How you doing?
Hi. Even the media, it was where they wasn't even talking about it. It was like, again, they were trying to cover up something.
You know what? Let me tell you something. You are absolutely right, because there was one local station was reporting that they caught her on the video at school going back to the car, but I didn't hear a whole lot of other people talking about that. The newspaper barely mentioned it also. So for some reason, they don't want to talk about this a lot.
And even, I work at a university hospital. Even we were talking about it. Who did this lady know that she goes and do something like this, and the media is not even really talking about it? This was wrong, not even only this city.
And I'll give Channel 5 the credit. They were the one local station that did a lot of investigating on this with the video and the whole, bit there, which they don't want. I don't know. Two things happening here. The prosecutor is playing a little mind game with her and the family, or they're trying to get her off with as little, with as minimal a charge as possible. So one or the other is going on. I'm not sure. Remember with the Marcus Faisal case, how the sheriff was playing along with her. Why don't you go ahead and have another press conference and wear the same thing? So this could be a game. We don't know, but only time will tell.
Well, see, that's what's wrong with people in this city and everything, because they see what they do for somebody else, and then, when somebody else, it's just all different.
Yeah.
When it's a crime, it should be where everybody get for whatever crime that because there's been a couple of them, cases like that.
Well, what about the young lady that left her kids in the closet while she went to work?
Oh, absolutely, right.
Those kids are still alive, but, the mother has gone through hell. So we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I guess and they better believe people is going to be watching and listening.
Thanks for your call.
Thank you.
All right, let's go to Mike. Mike, good morning. How are you, Mike? Mike. Yo, Mike.
You talking to me?
Okay, what's your name?
Teresa.
Teresa, okay. All right, Teresa's on 3 instead of Mike. Go ahead, Teresa.
Yes, I'm calling because I'm a grandmother and
Yeah.
I have a 2-year-old. And there's no way that I can leave my 2-year-old granddaughter in the car because she's busy all the time. And especially if I'm getting donuts, she's going to want a donut.
Yeah, yeah.
So that child, I don't know if the kid was dead or already.
Well, people have, when you do talk radio or talk TV, people come up with all types of theories, and I've heard that theory also. The baby was already dead when she brought the baby to school, and the coroner, I think, has ruled that the baby died from the heat. So I'm not sure whether that was the case at all. Just speculation from talk show junkies.
But as being a father with a 2-year-old, you couldn't get out the car and leave a 2-year-old in the car and the kid not want to go.
Well, yeah, it would be tough.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't do it.
And you would think within 8 hours, you would think that, oh my goodness.
I can't even go to the next room with the granddaughter following me.
Yeah, I hear you. Hey, thanks for your call. All right, let's go to Mike. Mike, good morning. How are you?
How you doing, Lincoln?
Oh, I'm hanging in there, Mike.
I'm okay. I'm going to say it if ain't nobody else said it. If that woman who left her child in the car would have been black, she'd have been charged.
You pulling out the race card on the day before Labor Day.
That's real.
Oh, you might have a point. I'm not going to deny what you're saying. You may be right.
And I believe she'd have been charged with the highest felony they can find to charge her.
You're probably right. I wouldn't doubt it, Mike. I mean, I hate to, I'm one that hate to use the race card, but in this case, I might have to trump my race card down.
And we can change that to the truth card.
All right.
Know how true that is.
The truth card. That's a good one. Thanks, Mike.
All right.
Okay. Let's go to Black. Black, how are you?
All right, how you doing, Lincoln?
Pretty good. What's up?
The caller right before me said the same thing. I believe the baby was dead already.
Oh boy, I tell you,
I believe that because ain't no way that she can go in the car and get donuts out and see that baby right there. You know what I mean?
You make a good point. Yeah, I mean, it's something beyond my wildest dreams. I just can't believe that happened. But anything is possible nowadays, But I kind of doubt the baby was dead. I don't know, but like I say, I thought somebody had picked up Marcus Faisal and ran away with him also.
Right. And it's like, but and again, they showing it so blankly, like the Lincoln Heights, like you was telling about the Lincoln Heights, like the lady about the dog.
Yeah, she's still in jail, and she's going to be there until, I think, September 6th when her sentencing comes up. Can you believe that?
Yeah,
over a pit bull.
That's Lincoln Heights and this Westchester, and you talking about a dog, and you talking about a child. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And for the life of me, what is the fascination with pit bulls? Will somebody please tell me? These dogs are dangerous. And especially around kids. Every time you read where a kid has been attacked by a dog, 9 times out of 10, it's a pit bull.
Right. That's true. But to lock her up with no bond.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And the child is dead, and it is Westchester and this Lincoln Heights. You got to throw the race card in there.
You have to.
And you don't want to.
They're different counties, but still, what can you say? Justice is supposed to be blind.
Right.
Thanks for your call.
Okay, thanks.
All right, let's go to Muffin. Muffin, how are you?
I'm fine, Lincoln. I wanted to talk about the lady in Lincoln Heights with the dog. I think it's terrible that they would lock her up where she couldn't function and take care of her home, when I know for a fact there are a lot of people who had dogs that the city didn't do anything about.
Yeah.
A case in point, a neighbor used to live next door to me. She had a dog that was on the chain that hung itself, and one dog that the chain embedded it in the dog's skin. One dog was found dead in the yard, and I called the county on her several times. They didn't lock her up.
Yeah. And what type of dogs were they? Pit bulls or what?
No, she didn't have pit bulls. She had one little one of them little foo-foo dogs
Oh.
and out in the dead of winter, living out in the snow.
Okay.
They came and found the dog dead. They didn't do anything to her. I called several times on dogs that's left out in the cold with no food and water. They didn't do anything to her. She had like a German Shepherd tied to the fence that hung itself and died. They didn't lock her up. I got it where she can't have dogs ever in the city, but they didn't lock her up.
For the life of me, I can't understand why Heather Russell would not set a bond for this lady. I called the judge. She wouldn't give me any satisfaction. I called the lady's lawyer. He wouldn't give me any satisfaction. I don't know what's going on with this case, but we'll have to wait and see.
And I don't know why they're so harsh on her when there are a lot of
I don't either.
same thing, and then they didn't lock her up. Another neighbor now has a beautiful Doberman over here that he took back from me and never lets her out, keeps her chained up. We called the pound and everybody on him. Dog poop all around. In the heat, the dog is out there, and they do nothing to him. Nothing.
Thanks for your call. Got to run. Let's go to Mike. Mike, good morning. How are you?
I think this is Rosalind.
Okay, Rosalind. Okay, I think we got a new call screener back there. Go ahead, Rosalind.
Hey, good morning to everybody. But my question is, I have lost contact as to what happened to the mother that the bus driver accidentally ran over. Was she charged with anything?
You know, I'm not sure. I don't think so. I don't think she was. I haven't heard anything on that. I know the bus driver wasn't charged. Whether they're going to file any charges against the mother, I don't know. I think that was a case of the mother just not attending to the child, not holding the child's hand, and the child just darted out in front of the bus.
Okay,
I don't know.
I hadn't heard anything. And
Let's call that an accident, like what they're
Okay.
calling this. You know, the baby left in the car for 8 hours, an accident.
I'm not going to even go there with that lady because that I really would love to be there in case in court when they asked her, could you explain to me how could you leave your child?
Yeah.
I think she should get the death penalty.
Well, she may not even go to court.
Right, that's sympathetic. I believe they're trying to get the sympathy of the people.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that's going to work. I really don't. If she gets off, it's a crime and a shame.
All right, thanks for your call.
Thank you.
All right, let's go to Tina. Tina, how are you?
Okay.
What's on your mind?
The lady with the pit bull, that happens to be my sister.
Okay.
And I think it is a racist situation.
Okay, tell me this. Why did they ever explain why they wouldn't set a bond for her?
No, they haven't. They haven't given her that.
What, did she have any warrants on her for anything else or something like that?
My sister is a workaholic, so no.
I just fail to understand. And I talked to her lawyer, and he's saying, oh, Judge Heather Russell is a wonderful judge, and she's great.
He's up for re-election, and he doesn't want this. He really doesn't want it to be in the media, and I'm hoping.
I know. He wouldn't talk to me. I called him, and he wouldn't give me any Normally, a lawyer would want to get some positive press out there for their client, but this guy wouldn't tell me anything.
Right, and the NAACP is willing to help her, but he doesn't want it to go public.
Yeah, I know. He won't talk to me either, so I don't know what's going on with this case.
And
when does she go back to court? On the 6th?
Yes.
Okay, what day is that on? What day is it, Thursday?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I know it being a pit bull, if they come and get it, they going to put it to sleep.
Yeah. You know, I just don't understand why your sister is still in jail. Let's see, I'm trying to, what time is the sentencing on Thursday?
I think 9 o'clock.
Okay, 9 o'clock. I'm going to try to make it down to that courtroom so I can hear for myself what the heck is going on.
Okay.
I'll try to be there Thursday at 9 o'clock at Judge Heather Russell's courtroom.
Okay.
Thanks for your call.
Thank you.
All right. Let's go to Sharon. Sharon, how are you?
Fine, how are you?
Pretty good. What's up?
I was calling about the lady in Lincoln Heights about the pit bull.
Yes.
I saw on the news when they were talking to her nephew.
And he said he put the dog there.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Why is she still in jail? Anybody else they would have let out of jail because
I just can't. I don't understand.
Didn't have any.
This is the strangest case I've ever seen. I don't understand. And nobody's talking.
No, they're not. And you talk about the race car in Cincinnati.
Yes.
You gotta pull the race card
Oh,
because
boy.
it's going to be there.
All right, I'm going to try to make it down to that courtroom and see for myself what's going on. Maybe I'll get a better understanding. Maybe it's something we don't know that's going on here with this case, but no one seems to want to talk about it.
Yeah, well, we're going to talk about it.
All right, thanks for your call.
All right.
All right. Yeah, and it's a strange case. Her lawyer won't talk. The judge definitely won't talk, and we'll just have to wait to the day of sentencing. All right, let's take a break, and we'll come right back. Lincoln Ware Live right here on a Sunday morning. We're here every Sunday morning from 10 until 11. We'll take a quick break, and we'll come back and talk to you right here on It's 38. And we're back live. Lincoln Ware Live is the program. Don't forget, coming up today at noon, right here on It's 38, Death Falls, starring Rip Torn and Beverly Garland. That's today at noon, right here on It's 38. If you want to see a rebroadcast of this show, if you love this show so much that you have to see it again, tonight, 8 o'clock on WOTH, channel 25. Yes, okay. At WOTH TV, channel 25. And then following the rebroadcast of this show, How to Go on a Date in Queens, starring Jason Alexander. That's at 9 o'clock on channel 25, following the rebroadcast of this show. And if you really love this show and you want to see it maybe 2 or 3 times again, you can log on to WBQC.com, and you can just watch it on the internet. Yeah, you can watch, and you can just watch all the past shows on the internet, WBQC.com. I've got so many letters and dots and coms and things, I get them all confused, but WBQC.com, and you can download the show, look at it as many times as you like on the internet. You can call your Aunt Susie out in California and let her watch the show also. That's WBQC.com. And you can look at all the past shows. This show will be on there tomorrow sometime afternoon, so check it out. And don't forget, I won't be on the radio tomorrow, but I'll return to the radio on Tuesday at 10 o'clock, 12:30, The Buzz, and we'll talk about issues that are concerning the community, issues that concerns the nation and the world. So tune in Tuesday morning, 10 o'clock, to check me out on 12:30, The Buzz. That's going to pretty much wrap it up for a Sunday, and I'll be back again next Sunday morning. Spread the word, tell a friend. Lincoln Ware Live, Sunday mornings at 10 o'clock, right here on It's 38. Okay, and of course today we were talking about the 2-year-old left in the car for 8 hours before anyone realized that the baby was in the car. The lady, the mother, goes and takes donuts out of the car. She's caught on videotape going back to the car at least once during that 8-hour period, but you're not hearing a whole lot of talk about that. And I'm wondering, why is that? Then you had a lady in Lincoln Heights, a dead pit bull was found in her backyard. And as far as I'm concerned, the only good pit bull is a dead pit bull, because these dogs are vicious animals. But anyway, she's in jail without bond. So go figure. You got a 2-year-old left in the car for 8 hours, mother, no charges or anything like that. You got a lady that's a pit bull in her backyard, strangled to death. She's in jail with no bond. Something's not weighing right here. We'll see you next Sunday morning, 10 o'clock, right here on Lincoln Ware Live.